week on Council Bluffs News, election reaction. With 3 seats up for grabs, we talk with city council members to get their thoughts about the city council election results, one of whom ends a term that lasted over a decade long. Veterans Day festivities. The Veterans Association holds a pair of events to commemorate the holiday, honoring those who have served. Behind the scenes, we get a look at what goes into putting an Iowa Western football broadcast on the air for radio and for the web. And Janice Cobia joins us in our in-studio interview to talk about a pair of events kicking off the holiday season. That and more all on this week's Council Bluffs News. Hello and welcome to this week's Council Bluffs News. I'm Zach Harper-Blunt. Tuesday, November 3rd was a very important day for Council Bluffs. The reason? City Council elections. 3 seats were up for grabs, and once voting finished, a newcomer was elected to the council, while 2 incumbents retained their seats. There's a new name joining the Council Bluffs City Council.
Oh, it was exciting. Overwhelmed by the amount of support.
Small business owner Roger Sandow grabbing more votes than anyone else in this year's city council election.
And getting elected, obviously nobody can do it by themselves, run a campaign. I'm excited to represent the citizens of Council Bluffs.
3 seats were up for grabs for this year's election. The 29-year-old Sandow is now happy to fill one of them.
I want to get involved. I own a business here in town, my family has for 30 years. Wanted to make a positive difference.
Also voted in are incumbent members Nate Watson and Sharon White, extending their terms another 4 years and quite possibly allowing for a loud exhale.
I was relieved that I was going to be able to continue to represent the citizens of Council Bluffs and keep working towards a lot of the projects that are so important to our community right now.
I was actually very excited. I'm excited for all the things that we've been able to do together, all of us, and I look forward to doing more of it over the next 4 years.
Unlike Sandow, familiarity seems to have played a large role in helping White and Watson retain their seats on the council.
Both Nate and I both had a lot of experience before coming on the council as far as serving on planning. I was on the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Human Relations Commission, lots of different boards and committees through the cities.
While one newcomer is voted on, one longtime council member ends her time at City Hall.
I got the text and my first reaction was I misread it and I thought that I won. So my reply was, I didn't really get it at first. So when I looked at it closer, then it was sort of disbelief. I lost, and then very disappointed.
Lynn Brannigan was a member of the city council for 12 years. Over that time, serving with 2 mayors, both helping the city grow while bringing in new features.
12 years is a long time, and I don't really remember life before city council, actually, because I've just been doing it for so long. But I've been involved in the community for so long, since 1983. So I think that, whatever I do community service-wise, it's gonna continue to take up some of my time. I definitely will have extra time. And this may be a blessing in disguise because I did start my own business earlier this year.
Even though Brannigan may have lost her seat in this election, she doesn't rule out trying to rejoin the council in the future.
If I see fit, I may run again in 2 years. We'll see.
The total turnout for the election was around 10%. City council members Melissa Head and Al Ringenberg's seats won't be up for election for another 2 years. All council members would like to thank everyone who voted in this year's elections. Sandow is set to replace Brannigan on the council on January 4th. The Historical Society of Pottawatomie County holds a presentation called The History of Healthcare in Council Bluffs on Sunday, November 8th. The event takes place at the center, and during the hour-long event, guest speakers are on hand covering topics like the history of local hospitals in Council Bluffs and stories of wild incidents that have taken place inside city limits.
Honestly, it's an interesting topic because Council Bluffs has so much very unusual and unique history.
We are also told the first ever mobile military hospital came out of Council Bluffs, and the first match unit sent to World War I was made entirely out of Council Bluffs members. With Veterans Day just around the corner, it's hard to miss the patriotism across town. Flags fly high, windows are painted, all in effort to support those who've served our country. Saturday, November 7th, the annual Veterans Day Parade hits the streets, and as IWTV student Josh Lamb explains, attendees keep perspective of what's truly important.
It's a gorgeous day for a parade. The sun is shining, and the thunder and crackle of marching bands fills the downtown streets of Council Bluffs. But for those in attendance on Saturday, November 7th, the event is about much more than just loud drums and antique cars. It's a day to honor America's proud members of the armed forces. With the Veterans Memorial at Bayless Park serving as the backdrop, hundreds pay tribute.
Veterans Day for me is to see the support the community gives to all the vets that took times out of their life when they were young to serve their country, serve the people they live with, to ensure the freedom that we get to enjoy.
The Veterans Day Parade route goes 12 blocks long, and on this day, fundraising is already going strong for future events.
We're raising some money. It'll be put into the account or raising for the American Legion for the Veterans Day Parade next year.
American Legion Post 2 holds a spaghetti feed immediately following the parade. The Luncheon, not just for food or fundraising, but for the friendly confines of brotherhood.
We planned this celebration dinner after the parade so that vets can get together and visit back and forth with each other.
And it takes a lot more than just one group to bring everyone together in support of the veterans.
We have a committee that's made up of the American Legion, the VFW, the VBA, and the DAB. We have worked together as an organization in which all of us are different entities of the military.
By early Saturday afternoon, members of the community from different schools, different military branches, and different businesses use their time to participate in the Veterans Day celebration. At the end of the day, it's not about the music and pageantry. It's about remembering what's most important.
Ensure the freedom that we get to enjoy.
For CBTV 17, I'm Josh Lamb.
Sticking with the events taking place in honor of Veterans Day, in news around the Bluffs, the Center hosts its 20th annual Veterans Day Luncheon Friday, November 6th. Vets and their guests fill the ballrooms for the event. A presentation of Quilts of Honor and Quilts of Valor on hand. Outside the ballroom, a Remember the Fallen display of Iowa soldiers that were lost in the line of duty since 9/11. Barb White, program director for the center, tells us this is one of many ways they do what they can to give back to supporters.
The community has supported the center since 1981, and we feel that this is a very important part of being able to give back to the community that way.
The event began with only 25 to 30 attendees back in its inaugural celebration in 1995, but over the years has grown substantially. Barb also tells us that the Quilts of Honor and Quilts of Valor are new to the presentation. The Council Bluffs Library holds a fundraiser for the Library Foundation and to show off some creative masterpieces. Art on Willow takes place on Saturday, November 7th. Over the course of the 2.5-hour event, attendees enjoy music and refreshments while getting a look at both art donated to the library for the evening and some pieces already established in the building.
I've gotten a lot of really positive comments, so I think they've enjoyed it. They've enjoyed seeing parts of the library they didn't even know we had, and definitely the artwork there.
We are told that the event won't be an annual one, however, plans for another one like this may take place down the road. Wrapping up news around the Bluffs, the Hitchcock Nature Center gives people a chance to see bald eagles. November 8th, the Hawk Watch Eagle Migration event takes place. During the 2-hour event, attendees receive a presentation on Hawk Watch so far this year, a live demonstration from Raptor Recovery Nebraska, and most importantly, the chance to see bald eagles.
The migration is happening right now, and lots of birds, raptors in particular, are moving through the Les Hills, and this is a great place to come out and see them.
Leading up to the event, we are told around 150 bald eagles have been sighted in the area so far this year. Annually, that number is closer to 800. Hitchcock has been recognized as one of the top 5 hawk watching locations for viewing bald eagle migrations in the world. Coming up on Council Bluffs News, the Reaver Sports Network. We get a behind-the-scenes look to get an idea on the work that goes into getting an Iowa Western athletics broadcast onto the airwaves. Development Update. We sit down with Community Development Director Don Gross, spotlighting what would be coming to the Lake Manawa District of Council Bluffs. And Janice Cobia joins us to get you ready for this holiday season in Council Bluffs. We'll be right back.
The Mid-America Center is the Heartland's premier entertainment and convention center. September 27th, Papa Roach and headliner Five Finger Death Punch rock Council Bluffs. Then rock opera takes the stage with the return of TSO November 18th. Over at the Convention Center, over 200 exhibitors are on hand at the Callahan Craft Show. And October 18th, vendors aspire to inspire at the Wedding Essentials Idea Show. Remember, the MAC offers free parking for all events. Tickets, information, and more at midamericacenter.com.
At Council Plus Savings Bank, you still get personalized customer service.
We have identity safe checking with LifeLock, identity theft protection.
You get personal mortgage lending to fit your needs now and in the future.
You get business banking with the latest technology because saving you time saves you money.
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, you get people who answer when you call and local employees who are actively involved in our community. Council Bluffs Savings Bank, hometown banking the way it used to be.
Hello and welcome back to Council Bluffs News. I'm Zach Harper-Blunt, joined in studio by Janice Cobia, the Director of Public Affairs of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and a volunteer for many other events that are coming up here in Council Bluffs. Janice, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Zach, for having me.
And there's a pair of events coming up next week, kind of kicking off the holiday season. The first one is a lighting ceremony, and can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
The lighting ceremony in Bayless Park will be November the 19th from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock, and we'll have Santa Claus and the mayor come in the park on a fire engine. The mayor will give a short speech, and Bayless Park, who we have hired to do the lighting event, will be there to flip the switch and light up Bayless Park. It's something that we're really looking forward to. It's going to be amazing. And afterwards, we'll all walk over to Bayless Hall where Santa Claus will greet the children. We'll have hot chocolate and cookies, face painting, balloon art, and it's just going to be a wonderful event for families. So I hope you'll all come out and attend that wonderful event.
And just a lot of fun just from the sounds of it.
It's going to be fabulous.
And how did this all come together?
Well, it came together last year. Many of the community came to the mayor, and they were upset that there were no lights in Bayless Park anymore. They had burned out over the last 20 years, and there just wasn't much there. And so they came to the mayor and said, you know, what can we do to bring the lights back to Bayless Park? We got money from individuals, from businesses, and then we looked at several lighting companies. We chose Polydynamics to do our lighting event, and they have done a fabulous job. I am so excited when they flip the switch and we can see what they've actually done to the park. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a joy for the people who come and visit Bayless Park during the holiday season.
I can imagine that. And then also, a couple days after that, you're having a ribbon cutting ceremony at the Canesville Tabernacle.
We are. On November the 21st, we are having our 11th annual gingerbread ribbon cutting ceremony. Mayor Matt Walsh will be there as our guest of honor. He'll cut the ribbon to officially open our gingerbread display for 2015. It's going to be a great event. We'll have over 100 gingerbread houses there. We'll have approximately 12 Christmas trees decorated, and it's going to be run through November 20th through December the 31st.
And there's a lot of groups that probably helped out with this event, but one of them is the Culinary Arts Program here at Iowa Western.
And we are delighted. We are so excited that the Culinary Arts Bakery Department has donated a gingerbread display for us. It's going to be an 8-foot Christmas village, and we're so excited for them to bring it over to the display. where everybody can enjoy it.
I can't wait to see all of this once everything is ready to go for this holiday season.
And if you haven't seen the Canesville Tabernacle, it's a must-see because it is fabulous. The decorations are beautiful. It's just going to be a wonderful event to attend.
Janice, thank you for joining us in studio to talk about these two events that are coming up.
Thank you, Zach.
Stay tuned. More Council Bluffs news coming up right after the break.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Throughout the year, fans of Iowa Western athletics are able to receive coverage about the Reavers in a number of ways. Bringing you that coverage is the Reaver Sports Network. The RSN is made up by a combination of full-time employees and Iowa Western students. In this inside look, we speak with some members of the RSN about the history and go behind the scenes to see the work that goes into a broadcast. On almost every type of medium, you're covered. Radio,
The River,
television, and online. If you want to be up to date on Reaver athletics, the RSN has it all.
Well, the Reaver Sports Network is just, everything sports related with Iowa Western.
It's one name with multiple entities involved. The Reaver Sports Network is an umbrella term covering athletics ranging from simple social media posts to live broadcasts of games.
Before it was just, radio on 89.7 The River, and I thought we needed to brand it a little bit better because of all of course, the TV station and the radio and the internet and all of that jazz.
In the beginning, men's basketball games were the only ones being broadcast by KIWR. But as the athletic department has grown, so has the RSN, covering multiple teams with audio and video all the way to national championships.
One of the best memories I have, obviously, are the championship games that we've been able to be at. In baseball, the 2012 and 2014 title games, we were there. We got to call them. The 2012 football national championship.
Although the coverage from RSN encompasses all Iowa Western athletics, the level of coverage is ramped up for the nationally recognized football program, receiving radio broadcast and live streamed video for all games home and away.
The students play a pretty critical part in what goes on with the RSN. Obviously, because of sports growing in media, there's a lot more need for people to be trained, whether it be announcing, whether it be camera work, whether it be the production of things going on, audio and video. There's so many things that you can do in sports that involve media.
So it's all hands on deck. Mass media students from Iowa Western, along with industry professionals, get to work to make Iowa Western's game day an event nobody will miss.
A typical day, we get there about 3 hours before the game. We get everything set up, make sure we're connected back to the studio, and then we prepare for about an hour, 2 hours before, hopefully, get a chance to just kind of decompress and get ready for the game, just preparing.
Kansas City! What I do is make a multi-camera shoot for Reaver football games. I make sure that I have enough people for the broadcast. I make sure we have enough signals, enough cameras, enough equipment. I make sure that it runs smoothly. Sometimes that doesn't work, but my job is to make sure that we get a broadcast on the air it's good, and it's clean.
When the setup is complete, the game begins.
Iowa Western Reavers!
Against number 6 for the Reavers, Sam Harms. 37-yard line is worth spot at 4th and 1.
Imagine 2, 1, hit it.
Yeah, Colin, I'll take you after this.
After another Reaver victory,
Another win for the Reavers. They have not lost since the first ever game in Reaver program history.
the coach gives his final thoughts.
And I told us, hey, you know, the only people that are going to be honest is this group.
And finally, the teardown.
It's about a 12-hour day to wrap it up for a multi-camera shoot. And then when we're on the road for a single camera shoot, it's about a weekend. So it's a lot of work, and then you got to go back in the edit bay and edit all of it. But the payout's really nice.
And the payoff is multifaceted. An incredible learning opportunity for Iowa Western students and extended coverage of one of the premier junior college athletic departments in the country.
We will talk to you next Friday for Reaver basketball. Until then, have a great night, everybody, and go Reavers.
This past weekend, the Reavers beat rival Iowa Central in the battle for the Kenny Cup. You can catch highlights of the game and other Iowa Western athletics on the Bluffs Sports Show with J.J. Davis here on CBTV 17. And if you'd like to keep up with all Iowa Western athletics, you can visit GoReavers.com or give them a follow on Twitter at GoReavers. Still to come on Council Bluffs News, we take a trip to the Midlands Humane Society to meet some animals that want to be your new best friend in our Pets of the Week. And an Iowa Western TV student joins us to give us a look at this week's events calendar.
Create new opportunities and expand your knowledge with Iowa Western's continuing and career education.
It was really intimidating to go back to school, but Iowa Western made me really feel like I could do it.
Our goal is to help students achieve success from education to employment.
Learn more, including information on extra benefits for Iowa residents at iwcc.edu/continuing_education.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Not that long ago, Dick's Sporting Goods opened its doors in Council Bluffs, but that was just one of a few new businesses moving into Metro Crossing. We sit down with Don Gross to cover not only Metro Crossing, but changes coming to the Lake Manawa District in this week's development update.
Metro Crossing, you see Dick's is complete, it's open. I believe the other two-bay strip center with the Buckle and Verizon is done, is open. That pretty much, with the exception of one building that they could build in front of Dick's out in the parking lot, that center is completely filled. And in the Sam's Walmart Menards complex, really the only change there, so there have been some changes obviously in some of the tenants and some of the strip centers. I believe, I think it's a Taco Bell, is reconstructing their building presently. There is a closed bank down there on 30th Street, which I think eventually somebody will purchase and put in a restaurant. We've had several inquiries on that. And there is a building being built in the Walmart parking lot, or will be soon, in this northwest corner of their lot by the gas station, which is a telephone store. I know it's not a Verizon, but I can't recall the exact name of it.
Hello and welcome into Pets of the Week. I'm Terry Gatch-Mills with Midlands Humane Society, and I have Angel with me here today. She's between 5 and 6 years old. She was an owner surrender. She came from a very abusive situation. So she's very timid at first, but she's a great dog. She's very active. She likes to go on walks, and she will need regular grooming because she is a chow chow, and she's got amazing fur. And her file number is 9470. Our next girl we have here is Zoe. She's file number 14410, and she is sister to the last chow chow that we had. Zoe is a little bit more fearful. She came from an abusive situation as well. So we're working through her fears right now. We just try to be real gentle with her. She would love a big yard with a loving home. Again, Zoe's file number is 14410. We have a little critter named Oreo. He's a black and white rabbit. He's a male, just under 2 years old, and his file number is 17983. He's a great pet. He's an easy keeper. He loves to be brushed. He loves to lay in your lap and loves to be petted. Again, his file number is 17983. This sweet little kitten's name is Willie, and his file number is 17814. He was brought in as a stray, but he's a very sweet cat, very loving, and very curious. If you're interested in any of the animals that you've seen on today, please come down to 1020 Railroad Avenue in Council Bluffs to Midlands Humane Society.
Hi, I'm IWTV student Lucas Pauly, and here's a look at this week's events calendar. Thursday, November 12th, the Council Bluffs Public Library will host a homebrew program from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Francis Sobetsky will cover the timeline, procedures, equipment, and ingredients needed to make homemade beer. More information is available at councilbluffslibrary.org. Kind Nature Talking Turkey takes place on Sunday, November 15th at Narrows River Park, starting at 1:30. Children ages 3 to 5 will examine turkey feathers, tracks, and get a chance to meet Tom Turkey. The cost is $5 per child, and more details are available at potcoconservation.com. The 2015 Mayor's Breakfast is taking place Thursday, November 19th from 7:30 to 9 a.m. Attendees will get the chance to meet Council Bluffs Mayor Matt Walsh, hear an update on the city, and where it will be in the coming year. The cost is $20 per person, and you must RSVP by Thursday, November 12th. More details are available at councilbluffsiowa.com. I'm IWTV student Lucas Pauly, and this has been a look at this week's events calendar.
Thanks for watching this week's Council Bluffs News. CBTV is always looking for your feedback. You can send questions or comments to cbtv@iwcc.edu. Call 712-325-3312, or you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter. Just search CBTV17. Remember to keep it here for the latest scores and updates for local sports in your community by tuning in to the Bluff Sports Zone with JJ Davis. For your Council Bluffs News, I'm Zach Harper-Blunt.